This is the first stage of CHUMP, which stands for Cheap, Homemade, Understandable Minimal Processor. To generate the clock pulse, there are three 555 times each in astable, monostable, and bistable modes. Then these two NAND gates combine the clock pulses as shown by this red LED. This is then fed into the program counter chip, which counts in binary from 0 to 15, with 15 being the maximum value as this CHUMP is 4 bits. This counting is shown by these yellow LEDs. There is a diff switch bank to manually load an input so that the program can start at a specific line before it runs. The clock pulse can also be manually adjusted, and I can do this by turning the potentiometer. You can see the frequency increases. And this is a square wave and monostable mode, which is also known as one shot. See, this red LED turns on. And finally, this is the square wave and bistable mode. Turn this off will turn the screen LED off. Finally, this is the halt switch, which will completely stop the counter. Values can also be incrementally added using the 555 timer in monostable mode, shown here, and it increases the count by 1. And this diff switch bank here can also load in values. So if I click these two buttons, which represent the C and Z inputs, and this button right here, it will set to this value in the switches. Here's a schematic of the clock's logic, which is done by two 74LS00 NAND gates. The select label is the clock pulse in the bistable mode, and the manual label is the pulse in monostable mode. The circuit can be made with AND or an inverter gates, but the universal NANDs are used as they occupy less space on the breadboard. The outputs of each clock pulse act as inputs for each NAND gate. An example of the clock output being on is astable being high, select low, manual high, and hold 0. Here's a schematic showing this output. Here's a table showing some of the possible outputs the CHUMP can produce, dependent on the 4 inputs. In conclusion, this part of CHUMP provides the heartbeat for the whole project. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video.